question. All right, I did hit record, so don't share all your usernames and passwords. You can give those to me privately. Normally I start off with a funny, and I didn't have one for today. And it was like, I had 3 minutes left and I thought, oh, I could find one real quick, and I just couldn't do it. So anyway, does anybody have any questions or thoughts or curious about anything before I dive into our talk today?
I do have a question that's regarding the material. Am I going to have to like drastically take a bunch of notes? I mean, I'll take notes, but is a lot of this is what's in the book already?
What I'm going to go over today
Uh-huh.
or tomorrow?
Yes. Well, either day,
both.
but I meant
They're both there, but it's like, you're not gonna memorize 200 and whatever, however many
no.
pages. I'm gonna give you kind of the synopsis on the onboarding call. I'll give the synopsis that I'll highlight certain pages, kind of go over where your supplement information is. Certain pages that I think are important for you to know. That sort of stuff. That's the onboarding. Today is a group coaching call. I have a PowerPoint made for you guys today, so I'm going to go there. But this will be actually perfect timing for you since you haven't started yet. This week I'm going over the supplements, and today specifically, I'm going to be going over the supplements that we give you. I'll go over a bunch of other stuff too, but so you'll know piece by piece by piece, because you guys, if those of you who haven't got your kit yet, or maybe you've already got it and you open up the box and it's like, oh my gosh, there are so many supplements. It's very overwhelming, and just people just kind of get scared of it, and I get that. So today I'm going to go over piece by piece, what each one of them does, so that you'll understand the importance of each of them. And then as I get to know you, through our one-on-ones or in our communication, then we might have to tweak some things. I might eliminate something, I might double something, whatever the case may be. So
okay,
that's how that's going to work. All right. All right, so this, as I mentioned, we are going to be talking about supplements. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Today I've got some shout outs and some welcomes. We'll talk about the supplement industry. I'll talk about what's a waste of money. I'll talk about the supplement uses, all of Dr. Infantino's stuff. Then I'll go into some condition specific recommendations that I like for certain conditions, not all of them. I just don't have that kind of time. And how to know if it's quality. So we'll go over a little bit of guidelines on that as well. And then of course, as always, Q&A. So we have a really, really small group today. I don't know where everybody is. Is it a holiday I don't know about? I know I got the alert for today's call, so I don't know where everybody is, but whoever's here is who needs to be here. So as they say, right? So before I dive in, let's see, we've got some shout outs. So Lori, she is down 15 pounds and she's feeling super, super proud of herself. And I don't blame her. 15 pounds is a big deal. So congratulations to you, Lori. Candy is down 20 pounds and 13 inches, which is huge. Inches are that's what people see. People don't see what our bathroom scale says, but they can see that we've gotten smaller. So inches are cool. We like those. John is down 14 pounds in just 2 weeks. And just FYI, the guys do lose weight faster. So please do not compare yourself to anybody on this list. You're only going to compete with yourself last week. I put these out because I want you to have social proof that it does work. These are all regular people just like me and you, and they just suited up and showed up. And so I just want you guys to know that it's possible. Darcy is down 4 pounds in her first week. And she and her daughter are doing this program together. And her daughter, Victoria, said she's they both said that the program is not as hard as they thought. You know, you open up the box and you see all the supplements and you see this 250-page book, and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so much. And people, like, they put their start date and then they change it and they say, oh, next week and then next week, because it's scary to just start. I would just say, just start, do it wrong. And then as you go, you start to learn how to get it right, because that's what I'm here to guide you and help you. For all of my coaching clients, I will give you feedback each week. If something isn't right, we're eating something not on the menu, I will give you that feedback. If you're doing great, I'll also tell you that too. But it really isn't as hard. It's just food. We're eating food anyway, so we're just mostly eliminating a lot of stuff. It's not like I'm asking you to find some random food that you can only get in, you know, some weird country. It's just regular food. It's more about eliminating things, and then we slowly bring some stuff back. So Bobby, again, consistent with her weekly journals, her food logs always look really great, and she's consistently losing weight. So that doesn't happen for everybody. I know some weeks are stalled, some weeks are great, but I just wanted to offer some shout out for Bobby on that. And then I just want to welcome in. I just want to welcome our new people. We've got quite a few more new people coming through. We've got Andrea, Kathy, Lisa, Connie, Brianna, actually two Lisas. Brianna, Cynthia, Dyson, Charlotte, Amy, Jody, Jenny, Chris, Paula, Angela, Rossella, Regina, John, and Marcy. So welcome into all of my new people. All right, so go ahead and dive right in. Again, if you guys want to mute, if you have any background, just go ahead and mute. If you want to unmute, go ahead. Also, you can write your questions in the chat. Oh, and Andrea, you're one of the new people. I think you're one of the, I know I have a new Andrea. So yeah, a lot of new people. But if you guys prefer to go into the chat to ask your question, I'll do my best to keep my eyes on that. If you're too shy to just unmute and ask your questions. So just a little into the supplement industry. 2021, Americans spent $254 billion. That's a lot of money, but guess what? They're saying by next year, they're looking to see it go up to closer to $377 billion. So it's an industry that's absolutely growing. I can tell you guys, I used to own a vitamin store, and because of that, I got invited to, what was it called? The Natural Food Expo. I think it was called the Natural Food Expo. It was in LA, downtown LA, not user-friendly for parking, but once you got in, it was literally giant buildings with rows and 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 more rows of long rows. There's no way you could see everybody in a day. It's not even possible. And it would just be one vendor after another after another. And so I got smart. I took notes, and I went to a lot of the vendors that I carried in my store. So I'd say, why is your product better? To help me sell their product, but also to know why these things, what gives them the leg up. So that was so much fun, and I learned a lot. I loved going to those. It was just a lot of fun. They get a lot of free samples. And then I would turn around and give out bags and bags and bags of free samples to my clients. So that made it more fun. I got to share it and give it away. And again, 77% of Americans take at least one supplement. That's a lot. That's 3/4 of us taking something. 57% of Americans take 20 of Americans, 20 and up, 20 and older, have used in the past 30 days. Overall usage goes up as age increases. Well, no duh. We have more things and we have more issues. And 25% more women use supplements than men. So, you know, we have way more than 25%. 25%. Most of our clientele is women. I would say maybe 5 to 10% of our clientele are men. And oftentimes it's the husband that gets dragged along to doing the wife. But I guess we're the ones in charge of taking care of people and hopefully taking care of ourselves. So it's a big industry. And the reason why I shared my story about that expo is there are literally millions of supplements. So when you guys ask me about bars or protein shakes or any supplement on the market, there's no way I could know all of them, because I can promise you there's probably 100 going out of business today, and there's probably another 100 opening up shop today, a different, completely different brand. So they just keep growing and growing, and some close down and some are growing and opening up. So there's just always something new. Studies are getting better. So we're learning more things about what we want and don't want in our supplements. All right. So I don't know if you guys remember Dr. Oz, but he was kind of he was a daytime talk show guy, and he would talk about certain products. And I can tell you, in my vitamin store, there was certain shelves that had a lot of the Dr. Oz recommended types of things. And that would be like the supplement of the week. And, you know, over here on the left on my list, Garcinia cambogia was one of the things he talked about. And the previous owner of my vitamin store, she would tell me Dr. Oz would go on and he would talk about Garcinia cambogia. And all of a sudden, people in droves coming into the store looking for Garcinia cambogia. I did sell it in my store, and it was somewhat popular. What I can tell you is the people that are buying it were month after month after month, we're looking the same. Now, unless you change your diet, I think there's some study that shows the Garcinia cambogia can be somewhat helpful. But if you are not changing your diet, if you're not eliminating chemicals and food dyes, all the stuff we talked about last week, all the man-made stuff, if you're not moving your body on some level, you know, popping a pill is not going to help you. All right, for Skolin, another one of Dr. Oz's hurrahs, you know, latest and greatest pill of the week, so to speak. And there was that on the shelf, and people would come in and buy it, and then boop, the next fancy thing would come along, and then nobody wanted it. So it was just a trick as a vitamin store owner to try to keep up with what are people going to continuously buy, because I would buy something that nobody would ever buy. And then I was out the money. So it was a learning curve for me as well. Diet pills, especially the ones that drastically reduce your appetite and get your heart rate up. Those, I don't like those, in the sense most of them aren't good for us. And I had those on my shelves, really good sellers and actually a good moneymaker. People, I could just feel it that they were addicted to them. If I was to be out, you could almost see the panic in their eyes. But drastically lowering your calorie intake actually will backfire. And you've heard me talk about that before in past group calls. Just if you're coming in at 500, 600, 700 calories on a regular basis, you are actually ruining your metabolism. So diet pills to slow or reduce your appetite, I do not recommend. Unless it's like you're trying to fit in that dress by Saturday. I mean, that would be the only, like, okay, we've got this little tiny window and I need to drop a few pounds to get that thing zipped up. But for long-term health, Yohimbe, another one of those, gives you the jitters, I can tell you that. So I just don't recommend it. I just don't believe it's healthy. A lot of the B vitamins, there's cyanocobalamin, which is a chemical, and it's not a healthy version of vitamin B12. We want the methylcobalamin. I will be talking about that a little bit later. And also anything that comes in a gummy. Gummies are sugar, guys. So it almost defeats the purpose. And I've seen, this is just it's so backwards, however you want to say that. There would be like probiotic gummies. Well, guess what? Probiotics are good for the gut to put the good bacteria in. But guess what? The bad bacteria loves sugar. So by putting the sugar in, you're just feeding the bad bacteria, so you're getting absolutely nowhere really, really fast. Someone in the chat says, I believe I've tried them all. Yes, a lot of us have. A lot of us have tried, we hear about it. It's the latest, greatest, whether it's Dr. Oz or whoever is talking about, there's so many influencers now that we have YouTube, and it's all about the influencers, and it's, you got to watch them and see how plausible they actually are before you start buying all the stuff they recommend. Also, when you read studies, you got to understand who wrote that study, because if it's the company who wrote it, their job is to sell it to you, sell you their product. So they are going to share with you the benefits that they think or want you to think that it is. You got to get a third party tested. That's how you're going to know. All right, so what should we be aware of? This is just a quick list. Vitamin K can reduce the effectiveness of blood thinners. Just FYI, vitamin K is what you're going to find in a lot of your green leafies. Ginkgo biloba is a supplement you take for memory. It can increase blood thinning as well. St. John's wort can make some drugs, such as antidepressants and birth control, less effective. St. John's wort is a mood supplement to help you have a better mood. So you might very well be on antidepressants if you're taking a thing like St. John's wort. By the way, something like that takes about 3 or 4 weeks to actually start kicking in, just FYI. Comfrey or kava for relaxation can also cause liver damage. And vitamin A synthetic vitamin A supplements can also not be good for us, can cause liver damage, bone thinning, and joint pain. We want to go with food grade supplements as often as we can. All right, so I am going to go ahead and dive in to today's, I call it today's lineup. But this is the pack you'll get, like what you see right here. These are our products. You have them probably sitting on your counter. Looks just like this. So let's go ahead and get started. We got another chat. Within this topic, would you comment on Ozempic drugs? I don't. That's a great topic. I don't know enough about Ozempic. I have heard it's not good for bone density, and I've heard it does have some negative side effects. I do have a couple clients on it, but they're both trying to wean themselves off because they are also aware that there are side effects. Most drugs do have side effects. Some not so bad, or not bad at all, or very unnoticeable. But a lot of times these drugs that we take, well, we take this drug, but it causes that. So then we got to take another drug that causes this. And then we have to take another drug to combat that. And it just turns into a vicious cycle. So getting yourself in a program like this, where we teach you how to eat healthy, eat clean, eliminating the chemicals, eliminating the processed foods and the high inflammatory foods, that's your best bet. That is your absolute best bet. Someone else said, Andrea, I believe it also drops your body's protein levels. Okay, that's Andrea, MD. I'm guessing you're a medical doctor, so that's good information. I don't know. No, she said. Initials, okay. All right, well, I don't know enough about the Ozempic, really. I know it can work for a lot of people, but I do some research and make sure that the information you're getting is not from a company that makes the Ozempic themselves, because of course they're going to tell you how wonderful their product is. All right, so the appetite appeaser. This one this is our little misunderstood little supplement, because it sounds like it's going to curb your appetite, which it actually can do. So that's why we take it earlier in the day, because it can also mess with your sleep. It's not a stimulant like some of those diet pills out there. It's not an actual stimulant, but it can affect your sleep. What it can do is reduce your hunger pangs and your nervous system. It can appease the appetite naturally. It's all herbs. It's all herbs. It can help regulate blood sugar levels. Blood sugars, that is huge, guys. A lot of our clients have blood sugar issues, but if our blood sugars are at all spiked for any given reason, that's how we put ourselves in fat storage. Elevated blood sugar levels will tell your body to go in fat storage, which is why a lot of us have struggle so hard to lose weight. So if we can regulate those blood sugars, that is going to put us in a fat burning zone. So that's exactly what we want. It also helps break down and oxidize fat. That's exactly what we want. So our little appetite appeaser is also a fat burner. It's got lots of different herbs. I talked about this in depth on Monday. You want to go back. It's got branched chain aminos. It's got things that will clear out your urinary tract. It's got a thyroid support in it. It's got all kinds of good stuff. So hawthorn berry, which is wonderful for your blood pressure. Lots and lots and lots of good aminos and good, just good herbs all around. All right. Next up, we've got body purifier. This one, and it is exactly what its name is. This one you want to keep in your house. So when you're done with your 12 weeks, you will not need the body purifier anymore. The first 12 weeks basically is detoxifying the body and getting everything back to normal and regulated so that the digestion can work. The blood sugars can regulate. We can absorb vitamins. We can absorb our minerals. We can release all the toxins from the body. That's what this first 12 weeks is about. However, you want to keep that body purifier in your shelf because it's also a super immune booster. So the second you feel a little scratch in your throat or a little tickle in your lungs, you want to have that on your shelf, because if you wait a few days and then get to the store and the cough has already started or you're already stuffed up, it's almost too late for those immune boosters. The second you feel the tickle is when you want to take your immune boosters. But this particular product of ours, it helps remove mucus and congestion, which are common side effects of having dairy and or gluten. Both of them are the culprits for causing a lot of mucus in the body. It will also help purify the bloodstream. It also has compounds in it that help cleanse the lymphatic system. It also fights bacteria, virus, yeast, mold, and worms. So that's awesome. And it removes environmental chemicals and harmful food additives. I mean, if we're alive, we're taking in, chemicals. We're breathing the air, we're breathing the smog, plus all the foods and the chemicals and the pesticides and all this stuff. Right now with the body purifier, you're definitely going to benefit from that. So that's definitely something that you want. All right, so next up, digestive enzymes. Digestive enzymes, your body makes them naturally, but if we don't make enough, you want to take your digestive enzyme before food. If you can remember, it's going to be a better benefit if you take it before food. But this is what's going to help your body break down the food so that you can absorb the vitamins and the minerals. It also helps absorb nutrients from your food, break down and absorb food, preventing gas. It also can help restore natural energy because you're absorbing more vitamins. It can also help reduce allergies and arthritis. It's got some anti-inflammatory compounds to it. It helps, okay, I already said that. Promotes weight control. So that's awesome. It's got the enzymes, of course. It's got dandelion root. It's got ginger root, which is good for digestion. It's got peppermint leaf, which is good for digestion. So it's really going to help your body digest your food far more efficiently. All right, fiber blend. It will maximize your efficiency without calories. Fiber is a carbohydrate, but the body doesn't absorb it, so you don't count it. So it's just the stuff that helps push the bowels through the intestines to push them out. However, fiber can go in and swell and block. So if you're having any constipation issues, I want you guys to reach out to me, but likely I'm going to eliminate or cut your fiber in half. It can help you overcome constipation, but it can also cause it if you're taking too much. And once you're on this program eating lots of good vegetables, you're probably getting plenty. So if constipation's your thing, the first thing that's probably going to go, in my opinion, will be the fiber. It does help cleanse the bowels. It helps reduce cholesterol. It helps stimulate natural actions of the intestines. Can protect intestinal canal from putrefaction or pathogenic bacteria, cancer-causing agents. So they say we have between 5 and 25 pounds of sludge sitting in our gut that may have been there for years, 20 years, 10 years, a lot of years. I know when I did the program, my tummy was distended and then it went flat. So I know this program can work. But there's a lot of junk stuck in our gut, and this fiber can help push it out. I already said it lowers cholesterol and triglyceride levels, so that's good. It can help diabetes, heart disease, gallbladder disorders, varicose veins, diverticulitis, and appendicitis. So there's that. Next up, we got the intestinal cleanser. Now, this is the one that's really going to push the stuff through. So if you are having a constipation, you might want to cut your fiber and maybe add an intestinal cleanser. But this is what's going to break down. And this is also juicy for breaking down some of that encrusted junk and sludge that's in your gut. This one is also the one that's going to remove the parasites within the body and worms. It restores the peristaltic action in the colon. The peristaltic, if I could say it, peristaltic action are basically the teeny tiny little hairs or fingers that push the food through so that you can eventually eliminate it. Sometimes they stop, sometimes they just get frozen up. So this can help promote that. Lubricating the intestinal tract certainly will do that. Its name is true to what it does. It can relieve gas in the bowels and improves function of the stomach and the liver. So let's see, it's got butternut bark, which is good for parasites. It's got cloves, which is good for parasites. Ginger root, again, great for digestion. Cascara sagrada, that's going to move the bowels. Yellow dock root, all kinds of good things in here to help with digestion. So that's why you're taking that one. Multivitamin, obviously this is going to boost your energy. It'll help cleanse your blood, aid in removal of free radicals. That's the stuff that ages us. It helps manage weight, improves skin tone, repair cells, fights disease, improve digestion, and detoxify the body. So it's got a lot of good stuff in here. All of your basic vitamins, zinc, selenium, biotin, just a lot of good stuff. Rutin, citrus bioflavonoids, that's really good. Ginseng, kelp, which is good for thyroid. So there's that. All right, probiotic blend. Probiotics are the good bacteria that we want in your gut. So that's going to help maintain healthy intestinal activity, prevents the takeover of the harmful bad bacterias, prevent bad breath, gas, and bloating, can improve overall health of the skin by combating harmful bacteria. When we're healthy on the inside, it shows on the outside. So a lot of these things are going to help us have more vibrant and healthier skin. The probiotic, in addition to the bacterias, and also what's cool about our brand is probiotics. When they get into the stomach has a hydrochloric acid, and the hydrochloric acid can break down a lot of the different probiotics on the market, but ours is encoded or coated with beeswax. So it can withstand the hydrochloric acid in the stomach. We want to take that one on an empty stomach as well. So it can get immediately away from the acid and into the intestine where it can grow and thrive. That's where it's going to live and grow and thrive and form all those colony forming units, which is exactly what we're looking to do or get from a probiotic. It's also got licorice root, which helps with digestion, garlic, vitamin C, golden seal, zinc, good stuff, really, really good stuff. Vitamin D, obviously going to help us with our bones, lower your risk of disease and infection. Vitamin D is a very big, important part of your immune system. Let's see, decreases cognitive decline with aging. So we want to make sure we're definitely getting our vitamin D. So there is that. And then our protein shake, last but definitely not least, it's got all your branched chain aminos, which helps your body build muscle. The more lean muscle you have, the faster your metabolism goes. So we're in a calorie deficit. The only way not to lose muscle during a calorie deficit is to get enough protein and get some strength training in. Is it D2 or D3 or something else? It's D3. Good question. Thank you for that. D3 is the one we want. That's the better version. So our protein shake, there are no artificial sweeteners. It's lactose, soy, casein, and gluten-free, candida friendly. It helps improve weight loss, increased health, and optimal daily nutrition support. And just FYI, if you're wondering how much protein you should have in a day, take your desired weight times 0.7. The answer you come up with is how many grams per day you should have. So our shakes, two scoops of the whey protein is going to provide 20 grams of protein. So just keep that in mind when you're consuming proteins. Your 4 ounces of chicken or fish or seafood is going to be around 20 to 25 grams. Is more protein bad? No, I mean, let me rephrase. Too much protein can be bad, especially for somebody with a kidney disease or their liver is compromised, but it takes a lot. Like bodybuilders will take, remember the math I just gave you, the desired weight times 0.7. Bodybuilders will take their weight. So if they want to be 200 pounds, they're going to have 200 grams of protein in a day. To me, that would be really hard on your kidneys and your liver too, but primarily hard on the kidneys. So yes, it can be, but trust me, you try to get 200 grams of protein in a day, you won't be able to do it, or it will be very, very challenging, unless you are a bodybuilder and you've been used to eating like that. And you're consuming 5,000 calories a day. So great question. Thank you, Andrea. All right. So here we go. So I'm going to go through, where am I at for time here? Oh, we got good time. All right. So those are the supplements that we offer that Dr. Infantino has his private label on. But there's so many, like I said, millions and millions of supplements out there. So I just wanted to hit on a few that I think are important for general overall health. These are condition-specific recommendations. And there's, like I said, there's millions, but I'm going to give you my top few. So for anti-inflammatories, obviously, the food plan that we've given you is an anti-inflammatory diet. So just by doing our program food-wise, you should see the inflammation in your body be reduced. The joint pain is probably not going to hurt as much. The swelling is going to go down in your body. So that's just general foods. We want healthy foods. However, if you want to supplement, since that's our topic today, we've got curcumin. Now, curcumin is the part of, it's turmeric, basically. And I did mention this, I believe I talked about this Monday or Tuesday. And how one of the sales reps came into my store and described it to me. He's like, okay, we know an apple's healthy, but we don't eat the entire apple tree. We pick the apple and we take the apple and we eat the apple, but we leave the tree over there. So the curcumin is basically the part of the turmeric that has the anti-inflammatory response. So that's the part you want. So if you're buying a turmeric supplement, it's not going to be as good as buying one that's the curcumin. And you want it with a pepperine or black pepper or the essential oil of the turmeric to make it more absorbable. Curcumin is a difficult supplement to absorb, so you want something that's going to help absorb it, which would be the pepperine or the black pepper or the essential oil of curcumin. Omega-3 fish oil is also an anti-inflammatory. And when you're looking at your fish oil, you want to make sure that your omega-3 is high. We don't care. I don't care about how much fish oil is in there. Tell me how much omega-3 is in there. That's what's going to tell you the real answer. And I want to see something close to about 1,000 milligrams of omega-3. I don't care how many fish oils there are in there. I want to know if they're close to 1,000 milligrams of omega-3. Ginger is a superfood. It could probably be under the list of all the things. Under digestive health for sure. It's an anti-nausea. It's very, very, very good. But it's also an anti-inflammatory. So if you can cook with it or throw some in your smoothie, do it while you can. Or I take sometimes ginger supplement. Also, garlic came in on the list, and you can buy a garlic supplement. And what's nice is there's plenty of them out there that are odorless, so you don't have to walk around smelling like a garlic bulb. For vision, there's astaxanthin. And guess what? Astaxanthin is what is in wild caught salmon because it's the orange, it's what the salmon is eating that's high in astaxanthin, but now the salmon has the astaxanthin. So when we're eating wild caught salmon, it's bright orange, like they should be. We're getting the astaxanthin naturally. So the farm raised stuff, it's gray. It is actually gray. And that's why they always add color, because they want it to look like its, counterpart. But the astaxanthin is really great for vision as well as other things. It's good for recovery and for athletes, good for connective tissue. Zeaxanthin is also very good for your vision, and lutein. All three of these vitamins are not cheap. So if we are eating a healthy diet, we're going to be getting a lot of these things anyway. But, especially for those of us aging, most of our clientele is over 50. So these things are becoming more and more important, which now we know why that industry, the supplement industry, is making so much money on us. You should see my pantry. I have a whole wall full of stuff, and I take a lot of it. I take most of it. Also, okay, so for brain health, lion's mane. This is one of those superfood mushrooms. You can buy, Ticino has a lion's mane coffee, but you can get it as a supplement in a capsule. There's different versions of it, but you can drink it. You can get it as a powder. You can get it as a pill, but that's a really good one for your brain health. Omega-3, as well as your heart, omega-3 fish oils are really good for the brain as well. So omega-3 is your heart, your brain, and anti-inflammatory. Curcumin, also good for the brain. It's an anti-inflammatory, so a lot of times our depression or anxiety or Alzheimer's, or not Alzheimer's, but stuff of the depression, because we have a little bit of swelling. And once we reduce the swelling, it can reduce the depression. So curcumin is in the countries that eat a lot of turmeric on a daily and regular basis have the lowest amount of dementia and Alzheimer's and cancers. And the one thing they have in common is they're eating turmeric all day, every day. So they're getting that curcumin in naturally. Or curry is kind of in that same family. So it's those Middle Eastern kind of countries. Ginkgo biloba is known for memory. So that's a good memory one if you're studying. Let's see. All right, so for immune, not in this order. I don't know why I put the order, because obviously your vitamins are important. So if we're eating healthy foods, the best way to keep a healthy immune system is to get enough rest, manage your stress, and eat a healthy diet. Those are the three things that will screw up. If you're not doing those three things, that will screw up your immune system. But vitamin A does have everything to do with your immune system. I grew up knowing, oh, you're catching a cold, take a vitamin C. Vitamin D is also part of the immune system. I should have zinc on here. Zinc it's a mineral, but again, zinc is also good for boosting the immune system. Elderberry is fabulous for that. Golden seal and echinacea, often you see those in a blend together. You can buy them separately, but that's nature's antibiotic. Oregano oil is probably my number one favorite. It's anti-everything. It's an antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial. So if you have something going on, it's another one of nature's antibiotic. And the same with olive leaf. I think oregano oil is going to be a little bit stronger and better. Oregano oil can even help with parasites. So I'm really a big fan of the oregano oil. But those are some things that you can keep in your cabinet for your immune system. Again, these are all immune boosters. If you take them when you first feel that scratch or tickle, it works. If you wait till the cough comes on completely, you're going to have to ride it out. Someone says, when we are looking to add supplements, do we want powders, capsules, tinctures, or what? That is a great question. I love that question. So the number one answer would be, I would say, like a liquid or sublingual, where you're going to take it, if it's a pill or a liquid, and hold it under your tongue. The reason for that, I'm going to go with sublingual now that I'm thinking about it. Because if we go sublingual, then it bypasses the digestive system entirely and it goes straight into your blood system. Some of these things that I'm mentioning to you today, when they go through the digestive system, it breaks them down and they're not as effective as the sublingual, which goes literally straight into your bloodstream. That is a great question. I would also go with capsules over hard pills. Capsules, because the gelatin in the capsule breaks down way faster, and then whatever's inside that capsule can go ahead and get into your system and absorb into the body. If it's in one of those hard pills, the body has to break that pill down. And I've read it many times, and I don't know who's discovering that. This is going to gross you guys out. But I've heard that in like the Andy Gumps and those porta potties, that they're like those Centrums or the 1-a-day vitamins, those multivitamins, they're hard pills. They go out the same way they came in. So those things are doing absolutely nothing for your body, except for it's expensive poop. But apparently they go out the same way they come in. So a capsule, a liquid, or sublingual is bad. Porta potties have pills. Apparently when you poop them out, yeah, it's going to have whatever you put in your body that didn't break down. If your body didn't break something down, it's going to end up in the porta potty. Sorry. I hope I didn't get anybody a gross visual, but all right. So for cardiovascular health, hawthorn berry, passion flower, these are herbs that you want to see if you don't want to take a pill, and you're starting to see that, hey, my blood pressure is coming up a little bit, try the combination of hawthorn and passion flower and see if you don't see I did this in my vitamin store. I do have high blood pressure. And I discovered that when I owned my vitamin store. So I took this, and it was a liquid, and it had both passion flower and hawthorn berry, and my blood pressure went back to normal. The sad truth is the insurance that I had doesn't pay for this stuff, but it paid for the losartan, the blood pressure medication. It was free for me, or maybe $1. So I ended up going to the losartan. But if you want to go natural, this is where you're going to go. Again, garlic is another one. There's certain ones that are on the market if you're getting a supplement, odorless, specifically for cardiovascular. Also, as I mentioned, omega-3, very good for the cardiovascular health. Beetroot powder. I used to keep that in the section of the pre-workouts, because most pre-workouts are filled with chemicals and junk and sucralose. But for somebody who wanted a vasodilator, beetroot powder, put that in some water. It can taste like dirt, but if you're adding it to your smoothie, you're going to be just fine. But it literally has a nitric oxide effect, which helps open up those veins and arteries to lower the blood pressure so the heart doesn't have to work so hard to get that blood through. Because so you're exercising, your body's demanding more blood and more oxygen and more minerals. And if the blood can get there easily and feed that muscle like it should, the beetroot powder is going to do that. L-arginine, and I should have on there L-citrulline as well. Those are aminos, but those also have the nitric oxide effect. All right, and then lastly, for skin, hair, and nails, collagen, you want something coming from a grass-fed cow. Hyaluronic acid is something that you can take within. You can consume it or you can put it directly on your body. And I carried both of those in my store. Hyaluronic acid is a water-loving molecule. So what it does is it draws water to itself. So if you're putting it on your skin, it's going to draw the moisture in your skin. So it's going to plump it up. You won't see the wrinkles as much. So that's what's going on there. Hyaluronic acid is really also good for your joints as well. So a lot of these things have multi-purpose. Biotin, really good for your hair. You want to get at least 10,000 milligrams to see a difference. Anything less, you probably won't see much of a difference. Glutamine is great for your gut, great for gut hair, but it's also good for your skin, hair, and nails, and immune systems. Vitamin C is very good for your skin. You cannot make collagen in your body without vitamin C, so you need that. And then lastly, specifically for your skin, greens powders is very detoxifying for the body. So when the liver's really happy, you're going to have more energy, but you're going to see it on the outside. When we're consuming foods that produce glutathione in the body, which is the liver's antioxidant, it literally shows up on our face. The wrinkles are fewer, the color is better, we're brighter, we just have a more vibrant skin. When we're sick on the inside, it does show. The skin is gray and it's wrinkly and it's dry and it's flaky and sometimes we get a rash or itchy or psoriasis or eczema or other skin conditions. So eating healthy foods definitely shows up on your body. All right. So how do we know if it's quality? So for protein powder, now for ours, it's a little bit different because we do add other things. So when you're looking at the serving, when you're looking at the serving, if it says 1 scoop, and it'll say how many grams in a scoop. So if it says 20 grams, and then you look and it says 20 grams of protein, there's 0 filler. There's nothing else in there but protein molecule. Typically, it'll have like 30 or 40 or more grams, but it's only providing maybe 20 or 25 grams of protein. So it depends on what else, like ours has fiber, it has prebiotic, it has enzymes, it has other things, but you want the protein to be as close to how many grams is in a serving or in the scoop as possible. That's how you know you're paying for a lot of junk fillers. Fish oil, I already kind of touched on that. You want to know how much omega-3 is in that fish oil. I don't care how many milligrams of fish oil it is. I care how many milligrams of omega-3 it is. Servings per container. Now this is directly, I put that on this one because I bought some stuff for my brain, some brain health, and it was working really good and it was expensive as heck. It also made me nauseous, so I ended up having to stop taking it. But it was so expensive, and I thought, well, all right, per month, if I buy this stuff once a month, because of course you're going to buy it every month, that's fine. But I didn't realize it was only a 2-week supply. So in other words, I'd be buying that product several times, twice a month. So just make sure you're understanding that when you're looking. And that goes for all your foods. Always look at your servings per container. If something has vitamin B12, make sure it's the methylcobalamin, not the cyanocobalamin. This is the one that your body can use. The cyanocobalamin is the cheap version of it, so don't go with that one. Your vitamin C, you want the ascorbate, not the ascorbic. If you are getting a ubiquinol or a CoQ10, this is great for energy, also great for heart health. I probably should have had that on the heart health list. But ubiquinol is the more absorbable version. It's going to be more expensive. But if you take CoQ10, your body has to do some work within it in the body to turn it into ubiquinol to make it good. And you want it USP certified. Those are some words that you want to see. Obviously, I love Dr. Infantino's brand. I think it's a good quality. The company that we use is just really good. I love Ancient Nutrition. That was one of my favorites to sell in my store. I've been on their farms. I know what lengths they go to make a quality product and what lengths they go to grow quality ingredients. I couldn't brag about them enough. I just really like them. Garden of Life is a good quality brand. Terry Naturally is the one that's going to make the best curcumin. They're the ones that put that essential oil of the curcumin in there. So it was one of my best sellers. And it was $80 a bottle. And people would come back every month and go, oh my gosh, this stuff is so amazing. Thorne is a good brand. And Carlson for fish oil. They sell it the oil, like you take it through a teaspoon, but it also comes in capsules if that idea doesn't appeal to you, because I know it doesn't appeal to me either. But those are some brands. So that's what I have for you guys today. Does anybody have any questions, or comments, or thoughts? If you want to unmute, feel free. And it doesn't have to be a question on supplements. If you have a question on something else, exercise or whatever. Next week, we'll be going into some mindset stuff. We often self-sabotage in the way we think about certain things. It's going to be a perspective shifting week. Hopefully that's my goal for you for next week. Also, I appreciate you guys telling me on your weekly check-ins some topic ideas. I really do like that. Someone is asking for finding your protein shake. What if you do not know your goal weight? What if you don't have an idea what your goal weight is? I would just kind of put a guesstimate. So if you want to lose weight, I don't know. When you get on a one-on-one call with me, let me ask, since you're muted, I just need more information from you. I don't know how to answer that without more info. But if you get an approximate number, I would say at least for the ladies, at least minimum 80 to 90 grams of protein in a day, which is a challenge because eggs are only 6 to 7 each. The shake is 20. Your chicken, your fish, your seafood, mostly between around 25 grams for a 4-ounce piece. So just keeping that all in mind. And if you want to track it, there's apps that will track your protein and all your macronutrients for that matter. Any other questions? All right, then. Well, I will say thank you guys very much for, oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate you guys all being here. Looks like there's one more chat. I have homework before. Oh, you're welcome. All right, you guys. Well, thank you for joining. I will see you guys all really soon. Oh, and one last thing. If you guys want the list of the recommended supplements, email me. I typed one up this morning. Email me. Don't text me. Email me. And then I can respond with the attachment from my computer. So with that being said, I will say goodbye and have a wonderful rest of your day.